For decades, archaeologists believed that they had solved the mystery of North America's first inhabitants. The Clovis people, famous for their distinct stone spear points, were thought to have arrived around 13,500 years ago. According to the Clovis first model, they were the first human settlers, migrating from Siberia across an ice-free corridor into the heart of the continent. But what if that story is incomplete? New discoveries are rewriting history, revealing evidence of human presence thousands of years before Clovis. Sites scattered across North America, some dating back over 20,000 years, challenge everything we thought we knew about early migration. Were humans here long before the Clovis culture, hunting, building, and adapting to the landscape? These groundbreaking finds force us to rethink history. If Clovis wasn't first, then who was? And how far back does the real story of North America's first people go? Let's find out. For most of the 20th century, archaeologists believed they had solved one of history's greatest mysteries. Who were the first people to set foot in North America? Their answer? The Clovis people. Named after a discovery in Clovis, New Mexico, these early humans left behind something remarkable: stone tools unlike any seen before. Their signature creation? The Clovis points, fluted, lance-shaped spearheads designed with incredible precision. These tools weren't merely sharp, they were engineered for hunting some of the largest Ice Age animals that ever roamed the continent: mammoths, mastodons, and ancient bison. The Clovis first theory seemed airtight. Around 13,500 years ago, small groups of hunter-gatherers crossed the Bering Land Bridge from Siberia. As they moved south, they supposedly followed an ice-free corridor in Canada, spreading across the continent and leaving their tools behind. With Clovis artifacts uncovered at over 1,500 sites across North America, the story seemed clear. These people thrived for centuries, their culture eventually giving way to more regional traditions. For decades, no one questioned this theory. The evidence backed it up. Radiocarbon dating of Clovis sites showed no older human remains. It all made perfect sense. But then, something changed. Archaeologists started uncovering sites that didn't fit the timeline. In Chile, Oregon, and Texas, researchers found signs of human activity thousands of years before Clovis tools ever appeared. This wasn't the only problem. Were Clovis people really just big game hunters? While their spear points were found alongside mammoth bones, new research suggests they also hunted smaller animals and gathered plants. Some experts even questioned whether Clovis was truly the first culture in the Americas or just one of the many adapting to the harsh Ice Age environments. Then came the discovery that changed everything. Sites like White Sands, Meadowcraftoft Rock Shelter, and Bluefish Caves provided rock-solid proof of humans in North America long before the Clovis people arrived. These finds turned the Clovis first model upside down. If they weren't the first, then who was? The question has led archaeologists on a search for answers, and one site in Pennsylvania has become one of the most powerful challenges to the Clovis first theory. Hidden in the rugged hills of southwestern Pennsylvania, Meadowcraftoft Rock Shelter is one of the most debated archaeological sites in North America. Beneath a massive sandstone overhang, this natural rock shelter gave early humans protection from harsh weather and access to fresh water from nearby Cross Creek. But what makes it truly special? The evidence suggests that humans lived here as early as 16,000 years ago, maybe even earlier. If true, this site challenges the long-held belief that the Clovis people were the first to settle in the Americas. The story of Meadowcraftoft started in 1955 when a local farmer stumbled across the site. But it wasn't until the 1970s that archaeologists, led by James M. Adavasio, began digging deeper. What they found was astonishing. Stone tools, spear points, wooden artifacts, and even ancient fireplaces. The tools look different from Clovis points, which have fluted ridges. Instead, the ones found at Meadowcraftoft were smooth-sided and more like tools found in Eurasia. Even more surprising, some of the stone materials, like jasper and chert, came from faraway places. This suggests that these early people were not isolated. They traveled or traded over long distances. To prove the site's age, scientists tested charcoal from fireplaces using radiocarbon dating. The results? Human activity dating back at least 16,000 years, with some samples pointing to 19,000 years ago. But not everyone is convinced. Some critics believe coal from the surrounding area could have affected the dating results, making them seem older than they really are. However, independent tests found no evidence of this. If the dates are correct, Meadowcraftoft is one of the oldest known human sites in the Americas, forcing experts to rethink when and how people first arrived on the continent. White Sands National Park in New Mexico has emerged as a groundbreaking archaeological site, offering some of the most compelling evidence yet for a human presence in the Americas far earlier than previously thought. While the Clovis first hypothesis once dominated the narrative, suggesting humans arrived around 13,000 to 16,000 years ago, discoveries at White Sand push this timeline back to between 21,000 and 23,000 years ago, a revelation that fundamentally reshapes our understanding of early migration. So, what makes these footprints so special? They were discovered along the ancient shores of Lake Otero, a massive Ice Age lake that once covered the Tularosa Basin. First discovered in 2009, these tracks were buried in layers of sediment. In 2021, scientists used radiocarbon dating on Rupia cirrhosa seeds found in these layers. The results showed that humans walked here during the last glacial maximum, a time when huge ice sheets covered much of North America. Of course, not everyone was convinced. Some experts argued that aquatic plants like Rupia might absorb ancient carbon from groundwater, making the footprints seem older than they really were. Could the dating be wrong? In 2023, scientists put that question to the test. They used two additional methods, terrestrial pollen analysis and optically stimulated luminescence dating of quartz grains in the footprint layers. The results? Both methods confirmed the original dates. The evidence was clear. Humans were in North America much earlier than once believed. The footprints themselves offer a rare glimpse into the lives of these ancient inhabitants. Some tracks suggest interactions with Ice Age megafauna, such as Columbian mammoths and giant ground sloths. One remarkable set of prints appears to show humans stalking a sloth, with the animal rearing up on its hind legs in defense. Another sequence depicts a person walking alongside a small child, at times carrying them before retracing their steps. These snapshots of daily life hint at complex social structures and survival strategies. The implications of the White Sands discovery are profound. If humans were present in North America before 21,000 years ago, they likely arrived before the ice-free corridor opened, suggesting alternative migration routes. This lends strong support to the coastal migration model, which proposes that early humans traveled along the Pacific coastline using watercraft rather than overland paths. White Sands gave us footprints, clear evidence of early humans. But what if we told you there was another site, even older, that tells a different story? Deep in the northern Yukon, high above the Bluefish River, lie three small caves. Inside, archaeologists didn't find footprints, but something just as important: animal bones with mysterious cut marks. Could these marks prove that humans were in North America 24,000 years ago? The story starts in the late 1970s when archaeologist Jacques Cinq-Mars began excavating the caves. Over the next decade, he uncovered bones that seemed to show signs of human tool use. If true, this could rewrite history, pushing human arrival in the Americas back by thousands of years, far earlier than the Clovis first theory suggested. But not everyone agreed. Skeptics had questions. Were these marks really made by human tools, or could they have been caused by natural events, like falling rocks or animal bites? Many experts dismissed Cinq-Mars' findings, and without support, further research came to a halt. It seemed like the debate was over, until 2017. That year, Lauriane Bergeon, a doctoral researcher at the Université de Montréal, took a fresh look at the evidence. She carefully examined 36,000 bone fragments under a microscope and found something remarkable: 15 bones with undeniable human-made cut marks. 6 of them were radiocarbon dated, confirming an astonishing age of 24,000 years, just as Cinq-Mars had claimed decades earlier. Further research in 2021 dated some mammoth bone fragments to 28,000 years ago, reigniting the debate. While many archaeologists remain cautious, others believe the evidence supports the Beringian standstill hypothesis, the idea that humans lived in Beringia for thousands of years before migrating south. Excavations at Cave 4, started in 2022, aim to uncover more data. Whether Bluefish Caves will be fully accepted as the earliest archaeological site in North America remains uncertain, but its findings continue to challenge long-standing narratives about the first Americans. While Bluefish Caves raised questions in the far north, the Topper site in South Carolina shook the very foundation of the Clovis first theory. Found along the Savannah River, this site was once an ancient quarry where early people could find plenty of chert, perfect for making stone tools. In 1985, archaeologist Albert Goodyear from the University of South Carolina began excavating here. At first, everything seemed normal. He found Clovis artifacts dating back about 13,000 years. But then, in 1998, after hearing about other possible pre-Clovis sites, he decided to dig deeper. What he uncovered changed everything. Below the Clovis layer, his team found tiny stone flakes and tools, suggesting humans were there 16,000 years ago, 3,000 years before Clovis. That alone was surprising. But in 2004, something even more incredible happened. Deeper in the soil, Goodyear found stone artifacts buried in a layer darkened by charcoal, and when they tested it, the results showed a jaw-dropping date of 50,000 years ago. If true, this would mean humans were in North America long before the last ice age. But was this really proof of ancient people? Not everyone was convinced. Some experts argued that the stone flakes weren't tools at all, just naturally broken rocks. Others doubted the 50,000-year date, pointing out that radiocarbon dating isn't always reliable for samples that old. And then there was another mystery. If humans were here that early, why didn't their tools change over time like other known cultures? Despite these doubts, excavation at Topper continued. Further optically stimulated luminescence dating, or OSL, suggested that human activity at the site could date back 15,200 years. While the debate over the site's deepest layers continues, Topper remains one of the most controversial archaeological sites in North America, one that could reshape our understanding of the first Americans. Some archaeological discoveries change what we know about history. Others shake it to its core. The Serudi Mastadon site in San Diego County, California, falls into the second category. While places like Bluefish Caves and Topper push back the timeline of human presence in the Americas, this site did something even more shocking. It didn't just challenge accepted theories, it suggested humans, or some unknown relatives, may have been in North America 130,700 years ago. That's more than 100,000 years earlier than most experts believed. So, what exactly was found? During a freeway expansion in the early 1990s, workers uncovered mastodon bones along with 5 cobbles. At first, it seemed like just another fossil site, but scientists noticed something strange. The bones had spiral fractures, the kind that happen when bones are broken while still fresh, something usually seen when humans process animal remains for tools or food. Even more intriguing, the cobbles showed impact marks, just like hammerstones and anvils used by early humans. Could this be evidence of an ancient human species at work? In 2017, researchers published their findings, claiming that a hominin species had broken the bones and used the cobbles as tools. But not everyone was convinced. Critics quickly pointed out a major problem. There were no actual human remains or clear-cut tools at the site. Some argued that natural forces, like heavy mastodon trampling, construction activity, or even sediment pressure could have caused the fractures. Others suggested that the marks on the cobbles were not from human hands, but from nature itself. Then, in 2020, follow-up studies added fuel to the fire. Researchers found tiny bone micro-residues on the cobbles, a clue that they may have really been used as tools. While most archaeologists remained unconvinced, the Serudi Mastadon site has undeniably forced scholars to reconsider the possibility of an earlier human migration or even an unknown hominin species reaching North America far earlier than previously thought. These discoveries challenge everything we thought we knew about human history. But what do you think? Could humans have been in North America far earlier than we imagined? Let us know in the comments below. Oh, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're happy you joined us for this expedition, and we'll catch you in the next one.